hope you're well and having a great week. So it is our monthly Crafternoon session. So if you've never joined us before, my name is Sophia. I am known as the Curator-Educator, and every month we do a monthly Crafternoon session. If you've joined us before, we used to do these on a weekly basis, but obviously that was during lockdown when people were at home a lot more, so we decided to do more on a monthly basis to kind of hopefully fit with people's schedules, maybe just to see how people are getting on, and it's a chance to kind of learn a new skill, also to chat and connect with each other as well, and yeah, do something for you, a little bit of mindfulness and a little bit of creativity. So this week is all about Sashiko. So Sashiko, what is this? So this is an example of the lovely Sashiko. So it's a Japanese style of stitching. And as you can see, there's a lot of repetition in Sashiko stitching. And tends to be a lot of repeated patterns, sometimes geometric patterns. And it's a little bit different from your traditional sort of running stitch, because this looks like a running stitch, and I'll show you along the way how we do that. And the idea behind Sashiko is it has quite an ancient history to it, which a lot of Japanese crafts do. And previously, it was used to strengthen garments, and you might have heard of like borrow or Sashiko in terms of mending garments, and that's quite sort of that make-do on men that's quite popular at the moment. But in sort of Japanese culture, years and years ago, and actually to a certain extent still today, it was used to strengthen garments, and for certain classes, shall we say, for more the working class, it was if your clothes were starting to fall apart, it was kind of building back together and giving that strength. And then for sort of more high classes, it became more decorative and more intricate. So it's kind of, we in sort of a westernized culture probably picked up more the decorative side of things. Also that make-do and mend is kind of like you do it to strengthen and mend clothes, but that's that visible mending. So I don't know if anybody has seen kind of the kintsugi art and classes that I've done before. And again, that's around that visible, showing that mending, which is a lot in Japanese culture. Rather than trying to hide something, it's actually trying to show that mending side of things. So, and if you join us, guys, feel free to comment on the chat. So we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So do say hey if you're joining us. Even if you're not crafting, say hello, have a little natter with us as we go along. So, go through materials first. So this one was a little bit more complicated in terms of resources. And as always, guys, this video is going to go live. Obviously, it's live now, but then you can view it any time. And if you want resources at any time, you can just give us a shout, and we'll send you a little crafty parcel, and you'll get all the resources that you need. So you don't need to worry about having to have everything. If you've got some of the resources, that's great, and I'll talk you through how we're going to do Sashiko. So, things that you're going to need. Obviously, you're going to need some form of fabric. So I've just got some navy cotton, and then I've got needle, I've got some Sashiko thread, I have to say that slowly. Or you could just use like an embroidery thread, that works really well. The only difference with this, it is so an embroidery obviously is made of strands. This is just straight one strand, and it's a little bit thicker, so it's kind of like a thick cotton. Then I have a chalk pencil. I've got this one as well, which is a little bit like swisher. So I'm gonna see which one I prefer for them. I've got some little scissors just to cut my thread. I've got a Sashiko template. Now, this is obviously one is made out of plastic. You can get loads of different ones. You can get them online if you're able to buy them yourself. If not, I said we can send out a little crappy parcel to you for free, or you can make your own template. Now, there are lots of Sashiko books and templates online that you can find, and you can make a simple template out of card. But that is quite simple, but the big thing with Sashiko is lots of repeated patterns, and that's really important when we come to sewing. So I'll kind of show you that as we go along. So, if you've got all those things, we shall begin. And if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to pop them in the chat. So whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, put them in the comment section. I will see them. I've got comments open. I will answer as we go. I've also got my coffee today. Today's mug, because this used to be a thing when we did lockdown, is my Harry Potter alumni. Because I'm natural, like guys, I need to have a little drink with me. So, to begin, so I've just got a small square. So I'm just showing you kind of like a mini Sashiko. So you can do Sashiko on lots of different things. So this here, that I showed you earlier, which is the same pattern, here's one I made earlier, is like a fabric coaster. So it's just two pieces of fabric stitched together, and then one has the pattern on. You have to stitch one first, then you attach the second piece. So that's similar sort of thing we're going to do today. But you can do it on clothing, you can do wall hangings, loads of different ways you can do it. So I'm going to line up our tempo. You want it roughly in the middle, don't worry if it's not exact. You kind of want to go roughly. If you're really worried about it moving about, you can pin this if you like. Generally, if you're keeping your fingers on it, even if it does move, you'll generally be able to find where it is. Okay? So I'm going to get my chalk pencil. Okay. And I'm just going to start to mark where the little mark grooves are. So you see these little bits here, just marking like you would any other sort of template stencil. So it takes a little bit of time. The thing with Sashiko and a lot of Japanese crafts, you can see, and if I lift this up, you start to see it leaves the imprint. Okay. So a lot of things with Japanese crafts is it takes time. And that's something I quite enjoy. It's also really good for mindfulness because it's encouraging you. I think this is generally the way as well. We've always got to be somewhere or got lots going on, whether it's with life in general or lots going on in our minds. And sometimes it's nice just to slow down. So we are online until roughly 2:30 today. But this craft might take you a little bit longer, so don't worry if you don't get completed in time. Continue. And I always encourage people to share their mates. It's always nice to see what people have done. So we're getting there, so if I lift it up, you can see. You can always, if you're like me and get a little bit of hand cramp, you can always stop. If it shifts a bit, you can just wind it back up again. Let's begin again. So the good thing about this, obviously, I always recommend using a white chalk, especially if you're doing it on darker fabric. It's always good to have that contrast. So if you're using a white fabric, try and find a sort of more contrasting chalk. And the chalk will just rub away, it will fade away. It's like a tailor's chalk, but it's just in a pencil form. Really easy to get hold of. They normally come packed, so I think mine came with 12. And you can get fancy. This one came in like a Sashiko kit. And this has, you can see, different colours. That's a little bit fancier. So that just came in a little Sashiko kit. But you can get lots of different ones. And the pencils are particularly good because you can get into those bits of the template easier. Back and forth, so you get a really distinctive white mark. Just kind of makes the next stage a little bit easier for you. So you could use whatever colour fabric you like. It doesn't have to be navy like I've got. There is a tradition with Sashiko, so the traditional colours for kind of doing Sashiko like this is your navy and white thread. So that's what I've got. So I've got my white Sashiko thread and I've got my navy fabric. But as you might have seen, Sashiko threads also come in lots of different colours. Also, you can get ones that are like multicoloured, as in like different like. So you'll have like red and pink and blue all like mixed into one thread. They're quite funky. I've yet to do one of those, but I've seen like some really amazing Sashiko work done like that. And a little bit, I'll show you some bigger pieces of Sashiko sewing that I've done. So I've done it on some like denim garments. So again, I really like that contrast of the traditional blue and white. Just has a really good effect. It's also a great way to upcycle and mend your clothing if you're like me and get really into it. I hope everybody is doing well. Almost. I've got sort of 2 and a bit sections to do, so just take a little bit of time. It's not a fast craft for this one. So we're getting there slowly. Do like. Last little bit. I've just got this little section to do, and then I shall do the reveal. So don't worry if you get like little bits of chalk, like get a little bit of sort of dust, chalk dust. Last one, reveal. There we go. So we get a pattern. I'm just gonna gently blow just to get any of the good stuff, just because you don't want to smudge, could make it a little bit harder to see those lines. Okay. So put my pencil to one side, and then I'm going to get my thread. So like I said, you can use embroidery thread, you don't have to specifically buy Sashiko thread. And if you want to, it's more expensive than the regular thread because it is for this particular type of sewing. If you want to know where to buy it, you can buy it online really easily. There are some specialist sellers on eBay who do specific Japanese crafts. Get a length. I'm not getting a really long length, so I'm going to show you step by step. Okay, I'm going to go for that. So, not gone uber long. A fair amount. I can put that to one side. And then we're going to tie a knot in one end, and then we're going to thread the other end. Okay, so just your regular knot. I do this method. So, just so I get my knot in the same place, I just go to my knot and I just keep going around several times, just so you get a substantial knot in the same place. Okay, and I try and push it mostly towards the end, because then you get the most out of your thread. So then you've got a substantial knot. And from the other end. And we're going to thread our needle. And I always lick my finger just to get the end. You're using it, so don't worry. Unless somebody else is using it, obviously, be mindful of that. Okay, so thread that. Oh, yeah, let me do that first time. Oh, okay. So I have threaded that. I'm going to. I don't want to double it, but I'm just going to pull it down a little bit, just so it's so slight difference with sort of more traditional westernized sewing to Japanese Sashiko is when we sew, we're not doing one stitch at a time. We're going to do multiple stitches, and also we're going to follow the lines of the pattern. So rather than your traditional sort of westernized sort of following of stitching, you'd probably do follow that bit and do that bit. You would do it in sort of rows, okay? Whereas actually what we're going to do is we are going to start here, so this piece here. I'm going to follow this round here, but then I'm going to go up here. I'm going to follow the line. So you're kind of following the motion and the lines of the sewing rather than following rows. So, and it all fits together, it all comes together. It's actually really clever. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm not going to start here, I'm going to start from this one. So this one here. I'm going to go follow this line, follow the curves, and then I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go around. You'll see what I mean when I begin. So, I'm going to start from the back. I always bring this all the way through to begin with, okay? So it makes it nice and easy for you guys to see what I mean, okay? So I started just here. So rather than just doing one stitch at a time, I'm going to show you 2 stitches to begin with, okay? I'm going to go quite close up here. See? I'm going to push my needle in, but I'm not going all the way through, so I can feel my needle at the back. I'm going to push it back through fabric. I'm start going to that next line. I'm going to push it down again. Okay? And then I'm going to go to the back, pull that needle all the way through. So I've done 2 stitches at once. You'll see. Now pull. I've got 2 stitches completed at once. Okay? So I'll show you guys that again. I'm going from the back. I'm going to pull this all the way through to begin with, just so you can see. I'm going to push my needle down at the end of that line, but rather than pushing it all the way through and then coming back up again, I'll push it just a little bit through, and then I'm going to bring my needle up to the start of the next line, and then I'm going to push the needle back down again to the end of that little dash. Okay, and I'm going to push it all the way through again. Okay, so if you pull, you see, okay, we've now got 4. I'm just going to do that individual one by itself, because we're going to start a new part of the line. So sometimes when you come to the end of the line, I'm going to show you how to do more than 2 now. So I want to start you off with 2. You'll find that you can a little bit more confident as you go along. Okay, so I'm just going to do this individual one, because then I'm going to show you that we're going to actually do this section here. Okay. Okay, so that's that individual one. So we've now got that first little section completed. So we're now going to go this way and this way. So we're following the line and path of the pattern as we go along. So there's not like a set way you have to follow a pattern. It's kind of like how you feel you want to follow that. So I'm going to do more than 2 this time. So similar process, needle down, and then down. So it's taking time, so I'm not rushing this, because if I rushed it, it won't always work out. Okay? So pull it through. Also, the maximum you really want to do is 4, because if you pull too much, and the tension of this then is affected, and then it becomes all bunched up, and then you lose kind of the effect of the stitch. So that's 3 stitches at a time. So again, I'm going to come up. So this time, I'm just going to go straight for it. I'm going in. Taking my time. Sometimes I have to go back in and out again. Yeah. Taking my time just to make sure I get the stitches right. Okay. Pulling it through. You'll feel when it's kind of, it reaches that line, because you'll feel the tension. You can see it's kind of following that line, and we're going to follow all the way to the end of that line. And again. In. Right through this one. And this one. Always try and make it flat towards the So, stretching the fabric, we can get the mixture. Okay. You see we've got two options. So this is kind of a wave motion as well as the traditional patterns. Let's go next. Pull that right over. So this one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do in. The following the curve, the lines were. Take my time. So sometimes I feel that I'm not going to quite get the angle. So I'm going to pause it then. But sometimes it's best to kind of slow it down rather than trying to rush it and not quite get the effect that you want. So I'm going to go back in. Last one that way. Okay. I also like this because it's one of those pestle as well, which is really good for that mindfulness action. It's really good kind of calming your brain down. It gives you a little bit of distraction if you need it. It gives you that feeling of relaxation. You kind of know what you're going to be doing. It's that sort of mindfulness, meditative sort of action. So now I'm going to go up to this row. So I'm not going to worry about this. You could go back and do this row if you wanted to. But it's a bit more fluid in terms of the pattern to go up. We're going to follow this. There's less of a gap then for me to go down and jump down. We'll have to do that at some point, but it's a bit more fluid, and we're looking, when you look to sew during Sashiko, you're looking for more of that fluidity to begin with. Obviously, you do have to fill in those little sections, things like that, but we're going to look at how we can do that as we go. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you don't have to keep on following the rows like this. You could then go part of this row, part of that row, and go all the way to the top. I'll show you what I mean. Go up here, start off, go up. So hello, if you just joined us, we're doing some Sashiko sewing today. Just showing you guys how to, it's a little bit different from your traditional sewing. You're following the flow of pattern. So again, I'm doing push one more. Fold. See, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to go up here. So I'm going to do this stitch, and then I'm going to go up to here. And I'm going here. And upwards. Gently pull it through. Always go as gently as you can. Release this. Trying to bubble. Okay. So you can see how it's gone from there, and I'm now going this way. So it's following the flow of the design. going to do the same in a minute. And I'm going to go to here. Okay. So I've followed it from here to here, and then I'm going up here now, and I'm going to follow it down. So you're following that flow of the design rather than going across like we normally would into the sort of sewing. You can see it's kind of like jumping up steps. Sorry about that. I've got the colour one I'm dealing with it. I'm just going to do a little bit, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down this way. Come back down. So I've gone from here up here. And I'm going to come back down. And then I think I'm now. I think I'm going to go for that. I could go that one. I could go that one. Finish that bit. Work it out. And then I could go that one. Have a hunger. So sometimes I'm thinking about, oh my god, this terrible sound. Hopefully that's better. Sorry about that, guys. Keep getting horrible echoey noises. Again, I'm weaving in and out. So you can do a couple at a time. See, that one is a little bit skewer, so I'm going to go back on that. So if you get one a bit like that, you just want to gently unpick it, because you have to be very careful, because you don't want to pull the fabric because it bunches it up. So you want to just pull the thread. Oh, don't you knot yourself up now. The joys of thread. Just to save a bit of time. Just lift it up gently. Okay. There we are. Right. Try that one again.
So sometimes if I've had one like that, I'll just kind of just get myself back into it. So sometimes again, taking a step back, taking our time. You see how it's coming together? It looks a bit odd at the moment. Obviously you can see where we put the chalk. So I'm going to go down here. Where am I going to go here? Yes, I'm going to go across this way, I think. Maybe not. I might go this way. Okay. So I can either go down here, start to fill in this bit, or I can start to do this section here. Where should I go? I think I might go next door. You see, I'm still on that same piece of thread. Because you're, look on the back, following the lines, you're not having to stop and start a lot. So you're actually using the thread more efficiently as well. It's actually really clever, in my opinion. So next month's Crafternoon online has a little bit of a recycling theme to it. We are going to make some wax crayon candles. It is as exciting as it sounds, I know. And I will be posting the materials and things that you will need shortly. So if you've got any old crayons and stuff lying about, you can use those. You might need a old glass jar or a little glass cup or something. Might be useful. So I'm going to go back on myself now, and then I'm going to go up. See, I've not gone a long distance anywhere, so I've not pulled the thread across a long way anywhere. do it slowly so you can see how it looks on the back. So basically it will look the same on the back as it is on the front, essentially, with a few extra little stitches here and there. So we are here. Gonna go up to this one. I'm gonna go up here, and then I can come back down on myself, you see. And you will complete it all by literally like filling in the gaps. But if you have any questions, obviously throughout the session while we're live or afterwards, please do get in touch. You can shout us on all the social media. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Come on, you. There we go. All of the socials. And actually today, because Tuesday we do our crafting for wellbeing program. We've also been doing some Sashiko for our crafting for mindfulness program. So we've been showing people who have been attending same technique. And again, it's that calming notion, that chance to talk, have some strategies that you can then take home with you as well. It goes beyond the hour for crafting, the 2 hours of crafting for mindfulness. So we are slowly, so I'm going to go down, 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 cross, down. We are slowly get in there. You can then transfer these sort of designs and things onto clothing, and I've seen people do cushions and pillows and wall hangings. You can do all sorts of stuff. So we are getting there, so I'm going to go down this way, down this way, and I might go down like that. Okay, through. Down, I think. You can see we're starting to have little bits completed. We're slowly getting our pattern there. So if you look on the back, so there's no sort of huge bits that have, it looks very similar front and back. So the only bit we're going to do now, you're going to see a little jump to here just so we finish this section, because we're almost at the end of our thread, which is perfect because that means we can then start a new bit and we can start to join up the rest of our lines. Always like it when that happens, it works out very well. But if that wasn't the case, you can just, if you come to sort of a natural sort of stop point where you think, actually I can't really connect anything without making a huge sort of leap, then you can sort of tie it off. I'm going to show you how to tie it off, and then just start at a different point. Okay, so I find the best way, so we'll just finish that little section there. So we have got a little bit, we've got one little completed section here, we're getting there, slowly. So obviously we're not, I don't think we're going to fully complete it in our hour, but that's okay. But tie off tip for you, so I'm going to bring this right close. I like to go under one of the stitches, so that's my needle going under the stitch. Okay, and then it creates like a loop shape here. Okay, and I like to bring my needle through that loop, pull it tight, and it creates a nice knot, which then you can give it a snip. That is nice and secure, not going anywhere. Now I am not going to waste this thread, I'm going to do a little knot. So again, my technique is to keep going, under. Pull it right to the end as much as you can, so you've got a nice knot. I'm going to use this bit of thread up. Okay, so I'm going to use it for this little section here because I think I can complete that little bit with the thread I've got here. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it here. Fab. Okay. Going to bring that underneath. So I'm just going to have enough, I think, just to finish those few little dashes right there. So there we go. I think it's going to just be enough, which is just what I need. Okay, pull it through, spread out the fabric, there we go. Okay, perfect for that bottom row. So that bottom row is now complete. So like I did before, I'm going to tie this off through the stitch. Got a loop. Now this one is going to be a little bit tighter just because of the way my needle is. So I'm taking my time through the loop, give it a pull. Fab, done. Cha-ching. There we go. So you see it's fairly, I'm just going to trim that little bit off, fairly neat on the back. Don't worry if you are not neat on the back. There we go. So I've got this section here. So you've got these little sections. So I think I might start here this time. Go along, come along here, and then you've just got that rogue little bit there. So I need a little bit more thread. In fact, I might use that little bit of rogue thread just to do that bit. Always good to use up what you've got. do like to try and be mindful with our creative resources. I don't know about you guys. The last little bit along here. And again, we're going to do our tying off. So through one of our stitches, it creates a loop and pull it through like so. Here we go. Snip that excess off. There we go, we've got a full little set complete there. So all we've got is this little section to complete. I feel like if I had one of those like fast forwardy things that you get on all those really cool videos on Instagram and YouTube where they're like, come back in 5 minutes. Alas, we are live. We do not do that. We're in real time. And as such, I have to find the end of the thread. Yeah. This is not pre-recorded. Live. Right. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. Again, thread. Needle first this time. Oh, first time. Oh. There we go. And then knot. So I'm going to go round once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should do it. There we go. And scoop it to the end, and you get a really decent knot. Okay, I'm going to start from this side. So again, I'm going to go through, push down, push the needle through. So it's that over under motion. And then when you've done the several stitches that you want, pulling it all the way through. There we go. And I like to try not to stretch your fabric, otherwise it all bunches up. There you go, so you can see how it comes together quite nicely. There we go, we're going on to the next section. So you'll see it come together because we've got those first arches in there. This last bit, the design comes together quite quickly. So we're going to the beginning of the line, end of the line, begin the line, end of the line, begin the line. Now I'm going to go on that. So I don't like to do too many. Again, otherwise it bunches up too much. So that one is end of the line, begin the line, end of the line, begin of the line, end of the line. Okay. That one, and then I'm going across. Now, if I am speedy, which I'm not sure how speedy I'm feeling, I might even finish just before past. But obviously the aim of the game isn't to be speedy. I've had quite a bit of practice doing this. And with a lot of Japanese crafts, it is the practice, it is that repetition of doing it that is part of the craftsmanship of it, which actually I really like. Here we go. So I'm on the last row, so I'm going to go this way and this way. Obviously, if this is the first time that you're doing it, it is about taking your time. But all I want to do is just try and show you a little finished product, but also I want to show you some bigger items. So, and to see actually the effect that it can have on a bigger scale. Get in there. Under, over, under. So just be mindful not to pull your fabric, otherwise it just bunch up. Okay. That fine balance between making sure your thread's straight and not pulling too much so your fabric is not muddled up. Okay, so we're coming on to the last row. See how it's coming together. Okay. The last couple of stitches. Here we go. We have our Sashiko design. So again, you want to just tie it off. Obviously I've got lots of thread left. Tie it off, snip it off. There we go, save that for another thing. Just going to get rid of these little loose ends. So it's fairly neat at the back. That's the back. That's the front. That is our little mini Sashiko. So just before we head off, hope you've managed to follow along. If you have any questions, feel free to fire away. Just wanted to show you Sashiko on a different scale. So a little while ago, I did this on a bigger scale. So this is on a denim shirt. And I went all the way, you guys can see. We go up a bit. Don't want to lose the camera. There we go. All the way along half shirt. So it's the same technique. And obviously this is just one square. So that looked really cool actually on like a pocket. So you could attach that to just an item of clothing. That would look really cool. So difference between this and obviously this is just one. So having a pattern like this is that you're repeating the pattern. So obviously this is a different pattern. But if I was doing this one, I'd then repeat it again and again and again. And you just cover whatever obviously size item that you're doing. You can do it on a shirt. I've done a different one on jeans. So I've done that one on jeans before. So it does have a really cool effect. So it went all the way up the leg. All the way, just one leg I did. So it's kind of like a statement piece. And actually this design I did on the bottom of a shirt. So if you guys can see that. So again, it's just that repetitive pattern, and you just rotate it, and then you could, if you wanted to, you could then go up if you wanted to. So it's that repetitiveness. You can make it on a bigger scale as well as on a smaller scale. So it's just that little comparison between the two. But today we've done a little mini Sashiko. There you go, guys, just so you can see. So big scale, small scale. Sashiko can be done on lots of different levels. But I hope you've enjoyed the session. If you just joined us, hello. We are just clocking off for today. But you can see the video. It will stay on Facebook indefinitely. It'll be on YouTube indefinitely. And it stays on Twitch for the next 30 days. And next month, we're going to be doing wax crayons candles. So I shall be posting more information about that very, very soon. But I hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you have a fantastic week, month, and I shall see you again in October for our next online Crafternoon. Take care, everybody. Bye.